The YTBC was dark and without form. The prophecy foretold the return of a man in this time of need. You merely adopted the YTBC. This man was born in it, molded by it, in a time when men are buying subs and basing their content off things like nationalistic pride. There is a man who cannot be bought, bullied, or reasoned with. This man just wants to see the fake channels burn. Once you see your fanboyism burn to ashes and you have once again come back to boxing, you then have his permission to die. It doesn't matter who we are. All that matters is our plan.
That's why I'm undefeated. Undefeated. Who do you think that you are? When I tell y'all that I run things, y'all better believe.
What up, everybody in the YTBC? Big shout out to hashtag Come Back to Boxing. Big shout out to Boxing United. So, I'm going to cover a couple different things here in this video. First off, want to give a big shout out to everybody who has been staying the course, been making boxing content. I've been absent for a couple months here, but I have been watching y'all's videos. I think everybody that I'm subscribed to is doing a great job. Everybody from Nordic Warrior to Jay Cotto to Shady Slim to What's Blazing in Sports. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Sporting Icons, Red Fox, everybody. Rasclot 222. And if I didn't mention your name, I do apologize. But I've been watching everybody. Just took a seat back for a little bit, but I'm back. And really, I want to go ahead and get into a couple things real quick. Saturday was an awesome, entertaining night of boxing. I think Luis Ortiz has nothing to be ashamed of. That man left his heart in the ring. I mean, he went in there and he was very patient. He was controlling the fight like you wouldn't believe. And many could argue that he should have won by TKO at the end of the 7th round. Which is crazy because he was knocked down in the 5th round. He didn't let that deter him, though. And, I mean, I think Luis Ortiz is a perfect example of somebody who had a plan and stuck to it. Now, yes, he still fell short. And in my opinion, that's probably just due to him being tired by the 10th round. I think he, kind of gassed a little bit. And Deontay Wilder was able to take advantage. Because everybody knows Deontay Wilder has a deadly right hand. But also want to go ahead and give a big congratulations to Deontay Wilder. In the face of adversity, he still found a way to win. So I give him 100% credit. Nothing less, nothing more. But let's go ahead and talk about some facts. Deontay Wilder finally beat a formidable opponent. And even this opponent, you can ask some questions. Not that Luis Ortiz is not a good opponent, but let's be honest. He fought everybody likes to get on to, Anthony Joshua about, that he beat an old Vladimir Klitschko. But Vladimir Klitschko was reigning for 10 years. Luis Ortiz was not. Vladimir Klitschko, to my knowledge, was not fighting with an injury. Luis Ortiz had hurt his hand. So, the only other thing that you could really compare is their activeness, and both of them were inactive. Both Vladimir Klitschko and Luis Ortiz at the time of losing to the two guys that everybody's talking about, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. So, out of the three things you can ding these opponents for, Vladimir Klitschko only has one, while Luis Ortiz has three. And Luis Ortiz was whooping that ass. Let's just be real. Let's call a spade a spade. He was winning that fight. Even with the knockdown. Now, I'm not counting the two knockdowns in the 10th round. When I say that, with the two knockdowns, that includes the one where, the fight was done. It would probably be a tie or maybe even a point for Deontay Wilder. But excluding that 10th round, Luis Ortiz was winning that fight. I could only give one round to Deontay Wilder. Obviously the 5th. If there's any other round I could possibly give Deontay Wilder, it would have been the 2nd round, and that's being nice. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who was winning the fight. Once a guy gets knocked out, that's the fat lady has sang, the fight is over. Who was winning on the cards is really irrelevant at that time. So, that's why I say, Deontay Wilder gets full credit for beating an inactive 40-year-old fighter with a hurt hand. But he's definitely, even given all those facts, he's still better than anybody else that Deontay Wilder has come up against thus far. Now, as far as Anthony Joshua is concerned, I think Anthony Joshua is more skilled and has more power than Luis Ortiz. And I think given a situation like the end of the 7th round, I think if you were to put Joshua in place of Ortiz, Joshua finishes Deontay Wilder. Now, that is my opinion. It's not fact. I'm not claiming it to be fact. Nobody knows what will really and truly happen the day that these guys finally do fight, and hopefully is by the end of this year. So, that's my thoughts on the heavyweight division. I hear a lot of people throw out a lot of other names. Tyson Fury and, what if Parker were to beat Joshua? All these different scenarios. My prediction is that Joshua is going to beat Parker. I think it'll be an entertaining fight. But I think ultimately Joshua is going to win. And ultimately, I think, it's like I said, I think if he's put in that same position as Luis Ortiz, he capitalizes. And the other thing is, Joshua has two things that Ortiz does not. That's youth, and that's he's equal to Deontay Wilder as far as height. If I'm not mistaken, they're the same height. If Deontay Wilder is taller than him, it's not by much. Maybe an inch or two. But I think they're about the same height. So, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I think it's going to be very similar in the beginning of the fight between them. And I think it all comes down to, will Wilder be able to pull out that right hand out of nowhere? Because I don't see him winning on points. And Joshua has a very good tendency to overwhelm me with his punches and finish you off. So let's not forget, Joshua is the one who has accomplished more than half the fights and still has a 100% knockout ratio. Yes, Deontay Wilder has knocked out every man he's stepped into the ring with, but he doesn't have a 100% knockout ratio. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen once these guys get in the ring. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, just real quick, this thing with Adrian Broner, who is running at the mouth at Keith Thurman. Gucci Gang himself, just talking smack. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Adrian Broner. All right, this guy, he's talking to Keith Thurman like the roles are reversed. Like Keith Thurman is the one who's lost every time that he stepped up in competition. Like Keith Thurman is the one who, can't seem to get his shit together. Adrian Broner, that's you. You're the one who keeps losing every time you step up in competition. We all know you can beat the Ashley Theopanes of the world, but you couldn't beat Maidana. You couldn't beat Porter, who Keith Thurman did beat, and he didn't have to weight drain him to do it. I mean, and then you lost to Mikey Garcia. And it's very questionable as to whether or not you can beat Vargas. I say Vargas beats you. Given your track record, you lose to Vargas, and you sure as hell lose to Keith Thurman. Remember, Keith Thurman is the one fighting the bigger guys, and you're just a weight bully. You're just a weight bully who has been fighting in a division where you're bigger than most of the guys you're fighting. But I guarantee you get into the ring with Keith Thurman, he may not knock you out, but he will take you to school and you will lose that fight. I consider that a sure bet. Because ain't no way Keith Thurman is going to lose to Adrian Broner. There ain't a snowball's chance in hell. So Adrian Broner, I'm going to give you some advice when it comes to Keith Thurman. That may not be a road that you want to go down right now. Because he will definitely beat you. I have no doubt in my mind that he will beat you. But anyways, I'm back. I'm gonna try to roll out some more content. Hopefully get some momentum. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole heavyweight division right now. Let me know what you think about what's going on with Adrian Broner running his mouth like he loves to do. Because I think as many times as he's written these checks that his dumbass can't pay out, I think Keith Thurman will bankrupt his ass. Real talk. But to all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble on this video, hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace.
Always and forever. Hold up. I'm undefeated. Handle it. Can you handle it? I manage the world's mismanagement. Thousands of years of the worst thing.